Spider-Man is an action-adventure game developed by Neversoft and published by Activision, released for the Sony PlayStation and Game Boy Color on September 1st, 2000, and later published on the Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, PC, and Mac. It stars your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man as he takes on his signature villains and uncover a master plan that involves symbiotes. Today I'm taking a look at the Sony PlayStation version of the game. As Spider-Man, you have access to all his abilities and webbing. You can fire web balls, cover your fists in the web to deal more damage to foes, make a web dome that explodes, and web yank people towards you. You can also punch, kick, jump, and do either, and web swing to different buildings and stick to walls. What more can a Spidey fan ask for? That's not all. You also have your trusty spider compass, which shows you where to go next. There are various enemies like thugs, the police, lizard men, and even symbiotes, each enemy being harder to defeat than the last. The game also contains bosses in the form of Scorpion, Rhino, Venom, Mysterio, Doc Ock, and Carnage. There are two power-ups you can pick up in the game: the spider armor, which turns Spidey suit into a silver and dark blue costume that can take more hits, and a fire webbing that is really handy against the symbiote enemies. After beating the game, you can unlock different costumes. There are some just for visual effect, like the Scarlet Spider outfit and the Ben Reilly outfit. Others have powers that come with it, like the symbiote Spidey suit having unlimited webbing and the unlimited Spidey suit having invisibility. It's pretty cool to unlock each costume and see what you can play as. You can also find hidden items like comic books. There are several different collections of comic books based on real-life Spider-Man comics that have come out up to the point the game was made, and you can find a secret room like a place full of pumpkin bombs that the Green Goblin and Hobgoblin used as weapons. The stages are divided by comic book covers just for the game that represents each part of the story, like the bank heist, facing Scorpion and Venom, and the grand finale. You can save throughout the game and pick different difficulties like easy, normal, hard, and a kid mode, which changes the buttons on how to web swing and makes the game even easier than it is on easy mode for younger players. The story is original to the game and isn't based on any comic book or TV storyline up to that point. In the beginning, we see a reformed Doc Ock with a new invention that gets stolen by an imposter Spider-Man that frames the real Spider-Man, who is in the crowd, and pits Venom against Parker later in the game. Then a mysterious fog covers the streets of New York, and you have to figure out who stole Ock's device and fight various different villains as you progress through the game. Sadly, it's obvious who the two main bad guys are if you have any collection of Spider-Man knowledge, or just by listening to the voice of the main villain and matching it with what you heard already. They don't try to keep it a secret, so it's more of a shock who it is at the end, but that's a small price to pay for such a fantastic game. We also get appearances from other Marvel superheroes such as Black Cat, Daredevil, the Human Torch, the Punisher, and Captain America. The graphics are pretty solid. They have a real good Spider-Man vibe to it, and it feels like you're playing a Spider-Man game. Each character has their own design that's original to the game, and you can tell who everyone is and what your surroundings are. Another thing that's solid about this game is the voice acting. A lot of the voices from the Spider-Man animated series and Spider-Man Unlimited reprise their roles for the video game, making a pretty good cast of voice actors who bring their all to the story and get you sucked in and invested in the story that's unfolding. There's a lot of comedy in the game, as well as only a Spider-Man game can have. And of course, let's not forget that Stan Lee himself narrated the game from beginning to end. There isn't too much in the way of flaws in this game. Like I said before, it's obvious who the mastermind behind the sinister plot is, and certain enemies, mainly bosses, can hit you once and Spidey will fall to the ground and stay there stunned for a moment despite your efforts to get him off the ground, but there isn't too much in the way that makes the game poor to play. Overall, Spider-Man is a solid entry to the Spider-Man franchise and universe that paved the way for many games to come after it. It's as fun to play today as it was 20 years ago, and I can't recommend it enough. Get it.